Hello, all, and welcome back to the NFL Quick Talk podcast. As always, subscribe here on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, and in this video, we will be covering all of the NFC North teams, the Bears, Vikings, Packers, and Lions, and going in depth with them, their schedules, their roster, and we're going to do it all in under 15 minutes. Let's get right into it. Starting off with the Green Bay Packers, I have their overall roster at a B-. If you want to check out quarterbacks, I won't be going over quarterbacks too much in these videos and the upcoming ones. If you want quarterback talk, then go back to our previous videos where we cover all the quarterbacks in tiers divided by NFC and AFC. But some quick hitters on the rest of the roster. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon make a very good running back tandem. Very underrated in the league. I think they're very good. The receivers are very young and untested. The jury is still out on them. The starters that they have listed right now are second-year players who haven't really either played or they played, but they played through injury. So, we get flashes, but we're not sure about it. And the depth behind them is not very good. So for them, for the Packers to succeed, they need these receivers to succeed. And I don't know if I can trust them to be A, healthy, or B, just produce in general, because we don't know that much about them yet. The defense, which is captained by Kenny Clark at the defensive end position, he's a stud. The defense will be decent enough to keep the Packers in games. Their secondary is very good. They have players like Darnell Savage, Rasul Douglas, Jair Alexander, and the linebackers should be just fine as well. All right, now we're going to move on to schedule. We're going to do this rapid fire style. We're going to go to week 1 where you travel to Chicago to play the Bears. I think you'll lose this one. You're going to go to Atlanta. It's going to be your first win. I think you win this one. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very close. I think you'll pick this one up. You travel back home for your first home game versus the Saints. I think the Saints beat you here. You travel on a short week to play Thursday Night Football against the Detroit Lions in Green Bay. I think you lose this one. I think it'll be pretty close, but I think the Detroit will make just enough plays to win this one. Then you go to Monday to Las Vegas to play on Monday night. I think you beat the Raiders here. You're going into your bye week in week 6. You're 2-3. Then you go to Denver. I have you losing this one. Versus Minnesota, you will lose here. Then you will play the Rams here. I think you will win that one. This will be a really good win here. I think you guys will win. I think the Packers here will win by double digits. I think it'll be a good win. Then you go to Pittsburgh. I think this is a loss. Then you go come back home to play the Los Angeles Chargers. I think this is a loss. Chargers are a good team. Then you will play short week again on a Thursday to play at the Detroit Lions. I think this is a loss. You play Kansas City at home. I don't think you have much of a chance here. That's a loss. But you're going to start to come out of your rut here. You're going to play Monday night at week 14. You will play at the Giants. I think you pick up a gritty win here. Probably low scoring. Defensive game. I think you win. Then you will come home to play Tampa. I think you win this one. Then you will go to Carolina. I think you're going to lose this one. This one, a bit of a coin flip. I think you could definitely win this one. And then you go at Minnesota. I think you will lose this one. And then last game of the season, you'll play the Bears. I think you will pick up a win in this one to finish out the season 6-11. So there is my take on the Green Bay Packers season as a whole. And next we will move into the Chicago Bears. Their coaching is an issue for me. Their head coach, Matt Eberflus, is not great and has not proven that he can be a head coach. This is going to be a make it or break it year for him. Their receivers are a bit overrated by the national media. Chase Claypool has been on the steady decline since his rookie year in Pittsburgh, where he really showed that he could belong in the NFL. But from there, he's kind of just dropped off. And DJ Moore is a good receiver. He's definitely not the elite type. And But after those two, it's a really big and steep drop off. And Cole Kmet is not really a receiving tight end as much as he is a blocking tight end. Their O line should take a step up with the addition of first round talent Darnell Wright from Tennessee. And the addition of Tremaine Edmunds really does help out their linebacker room. Their linebacker room now is more of a complete full circle type of thing. They're going to be very, very good as a unit. Adding Yannick Ngakoue to their defensive line saves them from like utter abysmalness, but because he's a proven pass rusher, and no one else on that defensive line is really worth a darn when it comes to pass rush. And their secondary is a bit thin, but they can work through that. They got Jaquan Brister in the draft from Penn State. I think if you work with him, he can be a very good talent. All right, going to the Bears' schedule. Some quick hitters. We're going to start off week 1. You're going to play host to the Packers. You pick up your first win of the season here. You travel to the Buccaneers. I think this is a win. This will be a very good win for the program. Then you will travel to Kansas City. You'll drop your first game here. You will come back to Chicago. You'll play Denver. I think this is a loss. You'll go to Washington. I think this game is going to be back and forth on Thursday Night Football. It's going to be a bit of a grind, but I think you end up losing this one. Then you come back home to Minnesota. I think Minnesota outlasts you in the passing game. You're going to drop this one. You're going to stay at home, play the Raiders. I think you're going to win here. You will play at the Chargers next week, week 8. I think you'll go back to the losing column. You lose this one. You will go in week 9 to the Saints. I think New Orleans is a very tough place to play. They got a great fan base. I think you lose this one. You will go on a short week. Come back home to play Carolina on Thursday Night Football. I think you pick up a win here. Then you will play at Detroit. I think this is a loss. You will go to Minnesota from there. I think you pick up a win here. And going into the bye week, you are 5-7. You regroup. You come back from the bye week. You pick up a nice win versus Detroit. I think this is a promising win for the team and for years to come. But you're going to end out on a bit of a rough stretch here. You're going to play at Cleveland. I think this is a loss. You're going to play versus Arizona. I think this is going to be a surprise since Arizona, in my opinion, won't be very good. I think you're going to lose to Arizona. You're going to lose to Atlanta, and then in week 18, the Packers get back at you and they beat you in Green Bay, and you finish 6-11. But through tiebreakers and such, you will finish ahead of the Packers, which makes you third place in the division. So there is my thoughts on the Bears. Now we go to Minnesota, to the Vikings. I have their roster at a B. I'm a really big believer in Kevin O'Connell as their head coach. I think he's a very good head coach, good personality, and the like. Dalvin Cook was a very big loss for them at running back. Their Alexander Madison is going to try and fill the shoes there. I don't think he will do it quite as efficiently as Dalvin Cook will. The receivers are a big plus for this team. TJ Huchinson and Justin Jefferson. This is going to be more of an air raid offense. Not more like, it will be an air raid offense more than last year. Their D-line took a hit by losing Zadarius Smith, and the D as a whole is pretty weak. But their kicker, Greg Joseph, longtime stay in Minnesota. I think he'll be very efficient as he usually is. So overall, I think their offense is very good. Their offense is going to keep them in a lot of games, but their defense is going to lose them some games. All right, quick hitters with the Vikings schedule. You open up versus Tampa Bay. I think you win this one. You will go to Philadelphia on a Thursday night. They scheduled it just like last year. You're going to lose this one just like you did last year. You're going to come home. You're going to play the Chargers. This is going to be a back and forth game. This is going to be a very high scoring game in my opinion, but you're going to win this one. You're going to go to Carolina. I think you'll pick up a decent win there. Their defense probably won't be able to keep up with them. You're going to come home, play Kansas City. I think this will be a loss. You're going to go to Chicago. You will pick up the win in Week 6. In Week 7, Monday Night Football versus the San Francisco 49ers. This will be a very interesting game, in my opinion, just the way the two teams' rosters stack up against each other. But I think this is a loss. You will come home and actually, no, you will go to Green Bay in Week 8. I think you'll win. You will go to Atlanta in Week 9. I think you'll lose. You will play host to the Saints. I think you will beat them in Week 10. In Week 11, you play at Denver. Then you play versus the Bears. And I think you lose this one on Monday Night Football. Going into the bye week. And into the bye week, we have 7 and 5 here. And going down the stretch, it's a little bit of a softer schedule going down the stretch. You're going to go to the Raiders. I think you beat them pretty soundly. This will be a very tough game here against Cincinnati. I think you're going to lose this one since it is in Cincinnati. You're going to come home. You're going to play the Lions. I think you win this one. You're going to stay home. You're going to play host to the Packers. I think you win this one. And in the last week of the season, you lose to Detroit in Detroit, which puts the Vikings at 10 and 7. All right. We are moving on to the Detroit Lions, who I have also as a B overall roster. I think Dan Campbell has done a very good job as head coach so far, and I think that will continue. The offense as a whole is very strong with the addition of first-round pick running back Jamar Gibbs from Alabama. Number one wideout, Amon-Ra St. Brown, is going to take the jump to elite this year. I'm a very strong believer in him. And Jared Goff is a very good passing quarterback, and I think he gets it done. He'll be in the top 10 of most people's wide receiver rankings come next season. The defense will be the issue, but I think they will do just enough to keep the offense ahead of the game. And do some quick hitters with the Lions schedule. You will go to the Chiefs the first Thursday Night Football of the week. I think you win this game. Not many people have them winning this game, but I think this will be a defining win for the team as a whole and will be a great outlook for the season as a whole. You come back and play the Seahawks at home. I think you lose this one. You're going to hit a bit of a rut here. You're going to play versus the Falcons at home. You lose this one. Then you play the Packers on Thursday night. I think you win this one. You will come back and play the Panthers. You win this one. You will play at the Buccaneers. You win this one. And you go to the Ravens. It'll be very tough. Hostile environment. You're going to win this one. Then you will come back home and play the Raiders, and you'll win. Going into Week 9. Week 9 is the bye week. You are 6 and 2 going into the bye. Coming out of the bye, you're going to go to the Chargers. I think this is a loss. Then you will play versus the Bears in Week 11. I think you win this one. Week 12, you play. You stay at home, play the Packers. You win this one. You go to the Saints. This will be a very tough game, in my opinion. You'll win this one. You will go to the Bears. After that, I think you pick up a loss here. Maybe some mid-season issues here pop up, injuries, the like. I think you lose this one. You will come back home and play the Broncos. This game will be very interesting. As I've noted, like some of their games, going to be interesting on the schedule. Most of their games. But this one in particular, I think you win this one. You will play at the Vikings. I think you'll lose this one. You're going to drop it, but you're going to finish out by beating the Cowboys in Dallas, and you will beat the Vikings in your home field in Detroit to finish the season 12 and 5. And with that, we are concluded with the NFC North predictions. Packers in 4th, Bears in 3rd, Vikings in 2nd, and Lions will take the division crown with a 12 and 5 record. Be sure to hit me up in the comments if you got a disagreement, you agree with me on something, you just want to talk about something. Hit me up in the comments. Always great to see that. And I got the rest of the divisions in the AFC and NFC done and ready to go. I'm just going to space out the videos a little bit, but be on the lookout for those coming out every week. Hopefully I can go out twice every week if y'all like it. So signing off for now. Be sure to look for those upcoming videos, and see you then.